Hello, everyone. Thank y'all for joining. I'm Michael from Justuno. Happy to have y'all here. We're gonna get rolling in just a few moments. Give everyone like another minute or so to tune in live to the webinar, to make sure they get all the content. And really excited to be here to talk about the unboxing to Onsite. Getting that one back a slide. Onsite to unboxing, creating the ultimate customer experience. We're here today with Justuno, us. We're here with Loop Returns, Malomo, Rider eCommerce, Velstar, and FriendBuy. A pretty awesome lineup today of speakers and content that I'm really excited for. But to kick us off, I would love for everyone in the audience to post where they're tuning in from. I would love to hear about it. We usually get some people all across the world, places you wouldn't expect. So yeah, please throw that in the chat. Oh, no kidding. I'm actually in Denver. I live in Denver.
Denver, nice.
Right on. Sweet. Same. Austin. Germany.
It's hot here today, Michael. It's a hot one in Austin.
Really?
Actually, it was hot this morning. Let me check if it's still hot.
We're having like a little blizzard outside. Not a blizzard, but
Oh, you lucky. Okay, it's 68. It was very warm though.
that's pretty good though.
A blizzard. Oh, that sounds nice. Wow, Michael, I was just over in Denver at the end of the year, and how did I not sync up with you?
You should have.
I didn't even think about that. I know, I was there for 2 weeks.
Were you skiing and stuff?
Yeah, snowboarding.
Nice.
Enjoyed some snow. Got some really good snow in.
Awesome.
Ooh, I see Indianapolis. That's like 2 hours from my stomping grounds from Indiana.
That's where you're from, right? That's true.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, Northwest.
Nice. And Faye.
Well, I'll have to hit you up after this for some recommendations. I'm here for the rest of the week.
Word. What part of Denver are you in?
I'm downtown today, heading to
Ooh.
Boulder this afternoon for a couple days, and then back to Denver for a wedding on Friday.
Oh, word. That sounds great, dude. Yeah, you're here for a heck of a week. It's snowing.
Definitely the snow rolled in last night, so I don't know if the hike is going to still happen today, but we'll see.
Dang. That's awesome though. Well, sweet. Okay, we're 3 minutes in. I am gonna see we have, I think, a lot of folks are joined in, so I'm gonna get us kick started. Yeah, like I said, I'm Michael from Justuno. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. We have an awesome line of panelists, but I'm gonna let them introduce themselves real fast, starting with SJ.
Hi, everyone. SJ or Stuff. I work with everyone at Justuno, and especially the strategists working with one-on-one to make the on-site experience what they want, what the visitors want, and really excited to talk to everyone today about kind of that first step of the whole experience with your brand, which can be on-site, right? If we are leading people to there to engage with you.
Good.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. I'm Samir Kamnani. I'm a product marketing manager at Loop, and I'm excited to talk to you all today about returns and why they really matter in the customer experience. And thanks, Justuno, for having me.
I'm Ryan Powell. I'm the group director of e-commerce strategy at Rider eCommerce by Whiplash. Really excited to be here and to chat with everybody about the sexy part of e-commerce, the back-end logistics, and the strategy that we deploy to help support our merchants and partners.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. I'm Noah Rahimzadeh, Director of Partnerships over at Malomo. I'll be discussing how we can all maximize the post-purchase experience.
Hi, I'm Gavin from Velstar, Client Services Director here. So Velstar is a full-service Shopify Plus and digital marketing agency based in the UK. So yeah, I'm going to cover what we do and how we using Shopify and all those wonderful services can be of real benefit to any e-commerce business.
Cool. Thanks, everyone. My name is Ryan Caviston, Senior Enterprise Customer Success Manager at FriendBuy, and looking forward to talking to you all today about building the ultimate customer experience through FriendBuy's loyalty and referral offerings.
Great. Thank you all, everyone. Perfect. Cool. Really excited to be doing this webinar. For those that came from Justuno here today, our audience, we did a very similar webinar last year around a very similar topic that we really enjoyed doing. So we're back for kind of a round two to a degree, with a fresh line of awesome partners, and really excited to dive right in. But before we do that, some quick logistical items. Number one, this webinar is being recorded and it will be sent out to you, to all registrants, tomorrow. So if you have to hop early, if you have someone that wants to see it, that recording will be sent out tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Additionally, we put on these webinars, these events for you, the merchants in the audience, and we want to help you in any way we can. So during the presentations, please feel free to add your questions if you have any questions about maybe their service, about an e-commerce strategy that's listed out, or any questions at all. Throw that in the chat or in the Q&A area at the bottom of your screen. We are here to talk with you, to help you, and do everything we can. So yeah, thank you all again for joining today. Really appreciate you tuning in. And let's get started. First up is going to be SJ from Justuno. SJ, I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Michael. I'm very excited to be here today, and thanks everyone for being able to join or whenever you're watching this. I am going to talk from a Justuno perspective when it comes to that on-site experience. And when I say Justuno perspective, if you are not familiar with Justuno, we're a tool that gives you the capability to provide unique messaging, lead capture options, and just general areas or touch points to engage with your brand one-on-one with on your site. I know that sounds like a mouthful, but when I work with clients, like that kind of just opens up the door to what do you want to do on your website? Similar to like how you want to have your in-store layout, right? And how much thought goes into that. Same thing for websites. So I'm going to get into an experience that delights here. Michael, oh, thank you so much. Cool. So starting out, I've got rules for a really great on-site experience. I say rules, and this can definitely be like what you stick to. For us, it's more of a guide when I'm working with clients, right? We want to think about intelligent targeting and segmentation. So we'll get into that. We want to think about continuity throughout the customer journey. So everywhere from what we're doing on site to what all of these other partners are doing after someone just gets on your website. The on-brand creative and copy, I'll give some insight into really the discussions that I have with clients and how much editing really goes into those pop-ups. And then tying it all together, right? I feel like personalization was a big word that I heard last year, and it continues into this year just in a more evolved way, I think, kind of that genuine value that we have here. So we'll review this, and as you're looking through these, I would love to hear in chat just maybe different segments that you target or maybe that you have trouble with. We're kind of all in the same boat, right? As far as like trying to find the right segment and making the most out of that segment, whether it be engagement, average order value, like more of those key metrics that we're measuring across departments. Starting off here, though, I want to get into intelligent targeting and segmentation. So when we think about this, I've got 3 different layouts here for different segments that you can target based on your priorities or maybe where you're investing a lot of your money. So we've got new visitors versus return visitors. This one is actually so relevant. I was just emailing a client based on their analytics that I can see in Justuno, really where their new visitors were lacking and then where their return visitors could just get more, they could get an extra touch point in there where we present a pop-up that is either saving them from leaving the site, or maybe we're giving them their special offer based on if they are a newer return visitor. So this newer return visitor, it can be very general, but it can also be based on an exact metric that you're looking at. So what is the AOV for return visitors versus what is the AOV for new visitors that you tend to have? And where can we kind of meet them, whether it's a mix of product recommendation or incorporating the UTM targeting that you see. So UTM targeting, there is that element of needing to set it up, right? You do have to kind of think about what your targeting is going to be in that way. But once you set it up, you can use that in Justuno to then show a pop-up to that unique UTM, whether it's paid, social, email, or SMS. Those are different points in the funnel, right? That a visitor is engaging with you. So an email visitor, for example, they may have more insight into your brand. Maybe they feel a little more connected to you just for whatever kind of content you're presenting, versus a paid visitor. Maybe they just saw one ad, very cold traffic, but still like something got them for that first click. So we want to incentivize that, or at least anticipate what a next click would look like on your website. And then geo-targeting, I think that's one that is probably underused as far as rules that we use for targeting. It is an easy one though, because geo-targeting can be anything from like seasonal and how it's related to your brand and where someone is in the US, for example. I've also had brands that they will have a podcast and it's in a unique area, right? In a different area, maybe in just California, and we'll target based on zip codes and their reach of that podcast and who they're really engaging with in that community. So that's like an extreme case, I would say, of personalization, like they are really attaching it to another channel of their podcast. But once they get on site, it's all coming into the same brand experience. I'll hop into the next one, Michael. Thank you. I've got a great example here from our client Cornbread Hemp, and they use that intelligent targeting. And this flow, these 3 points that you see, we've got a lead capture, then we've got a website banner, and we have an exit offer. So to me, that's like the perfect mix of foundational promotions is what we call it over here at Justuno. And foundational because they are addressing different touch points on the website. So that targeted lead capture, it's being intelligent and it's being personalized because it's showing mirrored messaging. We're showing the exact coupon code that maybe we're showing just to everyone that's new and not related to any kind of email or SMS campaign. And then in addition, they had a sweet banner on site that had that aspect of social proof. And social proof, it's such a like to your brand, you know, what really is working for you. Maybe it's more visual, maybe it is more of that text and someone just seeing like the 4 stars, the 5 stars, and you being like really transparent with what your feedback is from your visitors. So they had that second touch point, and then they had the exit offer. So they're specifically referencing the same offer and messaging with the addition of a countdown timer and then an increased offer. So it's kind of like, okay, that really didn't get you to, you know, to the next step. This is really what we can give you. This is what we think it's worth for you to like give our brand a shot. I know discounting can definitely be something that we don't always want to go to first, but in an entry kind of way of that top of funnel or cold traffic, it is worth it to get them to engage with your brand and build off of that. Got some sweet stats there and then examples on the right. Perfect. Getting into continuity across touch points. So here we really get into our other partners and where they come into play too. Like after you've received your gift, right, you might get pinged for a review of some sort. And it's all dependent, or it can all lead back to what your first emotion or thought was when you actually opened the pop-up, opened the gift, or were like really excited once you ordered it, right? You just keep going to your tracking page. So that's really where we want to create the continuity or keep it going. And I would love to hear if anyone got something really cool this year where their experience was like, wow, or they noticed something in their package that was kind of out of the box, right? To get you really engaged with the brand. My experience this year was a white elephant exchange. And I feel like my first like view as like a marketer view is everyone was like, how am I going to use this? What am I going to do with it? It's just like already thinking about that. So that could give you a lot of ammo to know like how to address a return customer that comes back to site and giving them ideas or just asking them, you know, just being a little curious about them. That can go a long way for the zero first party data people out here. So this is more of a, yes, thank you. That was more of like a general top of funnel, bottom of funnel breakdown. I would definitely review that just if you have a little more time on that one. With this example I have here though, this is showing you how they're creating this continuity in a pop-up. So I've got a lead capture targeting maybe cold traffic, right? And then I've got this free gift for them, which turns into an actual mystery gift that we were offering, right? Or starts with. And then we also take that into the SMS channel. So keeping up with the free gift feel, keeping up with the ad that brought them to site or the just general messaging that they have there. One thing that's unique with this trysnow.com offer is that the free gift, you can just pay for free shipping and get their free gift. So they're putting a lot of value in that first step just to get your foot in the door. And it's necessarily being viewed as like a free sample or just like a free product, right? We're using that mystery gift copy strategically. And if anything, that's something that I would really encourage you to A/B test. Thank you. On brand messaging, this is where I mentioned I really spend a lot of time with clients in the beginning when I'm getting to know them, right? What is our overall goal with what we're presenting on site, which the pop-ups and your website layout, that goal can be a little different because we do actually want the action from the pop-up or it to lead to a next action. So we can think about it as fun or serious, colorful or muted, minimalistic or expansive, lifestyle or product. It could be any way that you want to go, but just so that you can be really clear on what your pop-ups are meant to be once they arrive on site. And I have a lot of clients that maybe we start off a little more, yeah, here's another great example. Maybe we started off a little more modest in how we present ourselves, but I feel like your brand will always come through. You like eventually, you know, like whoever you're talking to or strategizing with, like that should open you up to try to test out new lingo or just test out different actions that you're wanting. This example, on brand creative and copy, all the way through from their website to their merch and then to this lead capture that you see. We're addressing email and SMS channels here as well and giving those free koozies. And I feel like this is a brand that really sticks to their voice and how they portray themselves.
Oh, hey, SJ, I think we're gonna skip the next example just for a second.
Yes, go for it.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Okay, yes, tying it all together then. We really want to give genuine value, and then that is through personalization. So everything that I've mentioned, that's personalization. Like you are personalizing by thinking about that person and what their next action would be. So in Justuno or whatever platform you're thinking about, or sorry, whatever platform you're using, consider the algorithms or the different just smart features that are maybe available to you to be able to segment in these different ways, whether it be cross-selling, upselling, targeting those new and return visitors with different types of algorithms, or trying to highlight your staff favorites, right? That can be something that you make a personal touch, maybe not necessarily to them, but try and connect them to your brand. So having those recommendations in unique spots, I'm sure everyone else will touch on really great spots too, but some immediate mention of anything that they've purchased before that relates to that would go a long way to the next step. Thank you.
Great. Cool. Yeah, this is another example, but just for a second time.
Oh, yes, yes.
Get that's what I made. Awesome. Cool. Thank you, SJ.
Cool. Yes, thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, if you have any questions for SJ, if you want to dive into any more of those, I think just said, throw that in the chat, or feel free to email her at stephanie.carcamo@justuno.com. She's one of our, in my opinion, one of our best strategists here at Justuno, and I love working with her, and I know you will too. So please reach out to her. But yes, in the sake of time, I'm going to go ahead and get us on to the next, and this is Ryan from FriendBuy.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, SJ, for that great information. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Ryan Caviston. I'm a Senior Enterprise Customer Success Manager at FriendBuy. Been on the FriendBuy team for about 3 years now and get to partner with some of our great brands, including Walmart, Figs, and Tommy John. Since today is all about creating the ultimate customer experience, I'll be sharing some tips about how you can set up your loyalty and referral programs to create memorable experiences that'll keep customers coming back. So before we dive in, just wanted to give a quick background on FriendBuy. Historically, our bread and butter has been powering referral programs for high growth digital brands. As you could see, this is a snapshot broken down across many different categories in many different industries and many stages of growth. Based on our experience working with these amazing companies, if you're in the business of acquiring customers digitally, then a referral program and a loyalty program can absolutely be a significant growth driver for you. Over the years, we've had a lot of requests from our past clients saying, hey, FriendBuy, can you also power a loyalty program from us? And what we've heard is that merchants want a program that's easy to deploy, but also customizable, meaning not cookie cutter. So last year, we launched our loyalty platform to help brands build this need. You can go to the next slide, Michael. Thank you. And that's where we're going to start today, with how to create a loyalty program that nurtures customer relationships and increases retention. So the first question we want to ask is, why do brands implement loyalty programs? We know it's about growing lifetime value, but how do they do that? So first, a loyalty program connects consumers to your brand. In fact, 79%, that's an amazing stat, 79% of customers say loyalty programs make them more likely to continue doing business with a brand. Second, it's a frequency driver. Loyalty programs are gamified in a way to drive someone to purchase with frequency, and 73% of consumers are more likely to recommend brands with good loyalty programs. Third, you might release new products from time to time, and you can use a rewards program to jumpstart new product sales within specific customer segments. In fact, companies with leading loyalty programs grow revenue 2.5 times as fast as companies that don't. Finally, collecting first-party data continues to be a rise in importance as privacy concerns make it more difficult to leverage third-party data. A loyalty program is an excellent way to collect first-party data, and is a great value exchange between you and your customers. So when building our loyalty program, FriendBuy evaluated who we view as best-in-class programs. You know, every day we as marketers, we as consumers interact with our favorite brand's loyalty program, you know, either passively by booking a flight or buying a coffee, or maybe intentionally by logging into our account and taking part in an earning event or redeeming points. These are just a few of some of the well-known brands that we view that have successful loyalty programs. Understanding how these market leaders in their respective categories tailor their loyalty programs gives marketers a great jumping off point for building their own custom loyalty program. Whether that's through encouraging product samples or VIP access, these are all things to consider when building out your loyalty program. The takeaway here is a truly successful loyalty program isn't cookie cutter. When you're building a loyalty program that's truly focused on the customer experience, defining why is critical, which is why we're all tuned in today. Defining why launching a loyalty program will be beneficial for you and your customers will help you determine your loyalty program structure, rewards, and success metrics. So we view that there's 3 different pillars to follow when building your loyalty program. First, what rewardable events matter the most for your business? There's standard events, things like, you know, subscribing to email or SMS, collecting birthdays. But in addition, maybe you want your customers to download your mobile app and make their first in-app purchase. Or if you're a subscription box, you want them to maybe customize their first box because you know that customizing that box leads to higher lifetime value. Second, what rewards make the most sense for you? Is it redeemable points or coupons, or, you know, do you have a high consideration product with a low repeat rate? So maybe third-party gift cards would be a great fit. Or the beauty of FriendBuy solution is to offer custom rewards. So think about something like a luggage company that can offer you monogramming as a loyalty benefit. And finally, you'll want to establish a set of business rules to make sure your program is profitable. These are rules that include minimum purchase thresholds or limiting rewards to certain SKUs. On the other hand, you can also use loyalty as a non-promotional tool by allowing customers to receive bonus points when they purchase a specific product. Next, we have FriendBuy's loyalty interface. This is where you'll be able to choose all of your rewardable events. You can see all of the standard ones are present on this slide, like make a purchase, take a survey, or subscribe to SMS. FriendBuy also has curated events though too, which really sets us apart, like downloading a mobile app or custom events. The benefit of FriendBuy's loyalty solution is the ability to reward on as many custom events as you can imagine. You go to the next slide, Michael. Thank you. So speaking of customer experience, you want to make it simple and as obvious as possible for your customers to track and redeem their rewards. A clear CTA on your website should drive customers to the loyalty program where they can track their points, claim coupons, and view all of the events that they can take part in. So on the next slide, let's see what a loyalty program looks like when we bring everything we've talked about together. This is an example of a loyalty program that's focused on the customer experience from Salt, a FriendBuy customer. Salt recently moved away from another provider where they had a basic loyalty program that limited merchants' ability to offer a tailored experience. For example, customers had to spend $150 in order to get $5 off. The problem is Salt's AOV is $70. The challenge here is with that model, they're not able to reward customers on their first purchase, which is a critical time to build loyalty with the customer. With FriendBuy, we have customizable events for earning points, So they'll be able to have customers rewarded for their first purchase. This will help Salt increase repeat purchase rate as customers that spend $50, well below Salt's AOV, will still get a $5 reward. They also have a quiz on their site, and with FriendBuy, their customers will be able to get 100 points just for taking that quiz. This is a great example of a merchant that builds out thoughtful earning events that drive actions Salt wants their customers to take. Salt's found a way to customize their earning rewards to encourage customers to take valuable actions. And with other loyalty programs, customers need to be logged in to refer their friends. But with programs like Salt's, this hasn't been decoupled. Customers can still refer without being logged into an account. It's important to keep that in mind because we hear from our customers that 70% of e-commerce customers are browsing while they're not logged out. So being able to refer without being logged into your account opens up an opportunity for new customers to share with friends and increases the likelihood of existing customers to refer. This is a great way to improve the overall customer experience because you're reducing the number of steps that they need to take to meaningfully engage with your brand. And that concludes my presentation for today. Anyone is interested in learning more, feel free to reach out to sales@friendbuy.com. And if you mention this webinar, you can get 1 free month of FriendBuy with an enterprise license.
Boom. Awesome. Thank you so much, Ryan. Covered a lot there. So yeah, if you have any questions about loyalty, definitely recommend reaching out. And then especially during the rest of this presentation, if you have any questions about loyalty, hit up Ryan on the Zoom chat going on right now and let him know if you have any questions. Thank you so much, Ryan. That was awesome. Sweet. All right, and then we are going to go onward. This will be Noah from Malomo.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. And great job so far, SJ and Ryan. Hey, everyone. I'm Noah Rahimzadeh, and I lead partnerships here at Malomo. Today, I'm going to be talking about how leading e-commerce brands are retaining customers and increasing LTV by capitalizing on a time when their customers are most excited while they're waiting for their package to arrive. Slide, please. So the ideas I'm going to be sharing today are actually based on learnings from some of the amazing brands that we've worked with, like Lashify, Rhone, and Mudwater. Slide. Before we get to those ideas, though, I want to set the stage on why a great customer experience isn't just important, but it's essential. So in 2013, the average e-commerce brand lost $9 for every new customer that they acquired. Slide, please, Michael. Okay, little game show. Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? So for a $25 DoorDash gift card, what do you think that number is today? Please drop your answers into the chat. So again, just to clarify, how much is the average brand losing on each new customer that they acquire today? And as a reminder for those who may already be dozing off and sick of me talking, the average brand lost $9 for every new customer that they acquired in 2013. So what has that risen to or declined to in 2023?
Give them another like maybe 10 seconds or so to get their answers in.
I'm scared to know. Scared to know what people lost.
Steph, you think it's gone up, huh? You're right.
All right, and I'm going to go to the next slide. Final answers, cutting them off. And now.
So the number is 29. E-commerce brands on average are losing $29 for every new customer that they acquire today. That's up over 3x from just 10 years ago. Slide, please.
Wow, we got a $28.50 and then a $30. That's a close. That's real close. All right.
I got some advisors in the background monitoring, so we'll let them decide. So as we can sort of see, the numbers don't lie. Modern brands cannot survive if the focus is always just on driving growth through acquisition. But there is a massive silver lining. Profits from repeat customers are healthy and growing. So profitability from your most loyal customers, as we can see, has actually grown over the same time period to grown by 35%. Moral of the story here, there's no sense in acquiring new customers if you don't have a plan to keep them coming back. Slide, please. So how can modern brands do so? Step one is reducing churn. Slide. So one of the biggest churn risks in the customer lifecycle is the post-purchase experience. 84% of customers won't return to a brand after just one bad shipping experience. What's more, a third won't return after just one bad returns experience. And unfortunately, these bad post-purchase experiences are still happening at an inexcusable rate. Slide. So let's get into why that is. For most consumers, the order tracking experience goes something like this. You start by browsing a new store, which is usually super engaging, branded all the way, and fully immersive throughout the entire experience. But once you buy, that experience completely flips. You're sent a very transactional, stale email telling you your order is shipped. And this is typically the last communication you receive from a brand about your delivery. And then when you go to click to track your package, you're taken to a carrier tracking page that is oftentimes confusing and really difficult to understand. When you see, an experience like this as a consumer, it feels very jarring and like disjointed. It's like the brand is giving you the impression that once they've gotten your money, they don't care much, if at all, about the experience that you have after that. Slide, please. I think the craziest part about all of this is that customers track their package 4.6 times per order. Was going to make this another poll, but we're stretched for time. So I'm just letting you know that is 4.6 chances to engage your customers while they are most excited about your brand. Moreover, the order tracking page itself is one of the most viewed pages for e-commerce brands. On average, 15% of your web traffic is going to that order tracking page. Imagine just giving away 15% of your web traffic. And yet that's exactly what most brands are doing by using the standard Shopify out-of-the-box post-purchase experience. Okay, now we can move on, Michael. But here is what the retention leaders are doing instead. So they start by turning off the Shopify post-purchase emails and move those over to their ESP, where they have full control over branding and content. They also have more control over the notifications that are being sent, giving them the ability to proactively communicate updates with their customers. And then instead of sending customers to a UPS page, brands send them to a tracking page on their own site that gives them real-time status updates in human-friendly messaging, alongside estimated delivery dates. And both, of course, their emails and their tracking pages become marketing assets that brands use to drive buyers back to purchase, provide useful interactive content, and educate their customers on their products or brand. Slide. As you can see in the side-by-side comparison, the brand-owned experience is much cleaner and much clearer than the generic experience. Slide. So not only does this strategy allow for a better experience if everything goes to plan, it also allows brands to proactively update customers if anything goes wrong along the way. Even if you have a great 3PL partner like Whiplash, who we'll hear from soon, and as such, you rarely, if ever, have fulfillment issues, carriers will still mess up from time to time. That's inevitable, and unfortunately, consumers will blame you for it. If you don't have a strategy for handling these issues, you're leaving retention to chance. So on this next slide, we'll see what that can look like. The fact of the matter is customers expect delays in today's logistics climate. What they don't appreciate is not being made aware when things go awry. So be sure to let your customers know if there's an exception to their order. The ability to proactively notify customers in such circumstances can significantly reduce customer churn and even cut your CX burden by up to half. Slide, please. Okay, now think back to the beginning of this section and remember that stat a few slides back. 33% of consumers won't return to a brand after a bad returns experience. So very soon, brands will be able to extend all of the great value we just covered to returns and exchanges as well. This is a massive unlock for e-commerce merchants. By combining branded tracking with the leading returns and exchange platform, Loop, who we will also hear from in a second, brands can ensure their entire post-purchase experience is world-class. With this first of its kind combined solution, customers can initiate returns or exchanges directly from their tracking page. They can then track all new return and exchange orders from the same experience. And all the while, brands are able to capitalize on this engagement, driving LTV with personalized CTAs throughout the entire post-purchase journey. Slide, please. Speaking of LTV, so now you've kept your customers. That's fantastic, and it's definitely a win in and of itself. But let's dive into a few tactics on how you can maximize your lifetime value throughout the post-purchase experience. The first thing that most brands should ensure is that their customers are signed up for marketing communications. Brands should be using their transactional updates to capture email and SMS marketing opt-ins, like Bored Cow has done here by leveraging our wonderful hosts, FriendBuy, as a pop-up on their tracking page. And I saw some Bored Cow commentary in the comments, so hopefully this resonates well with those who know the brand. Simply by bringing customers who click to track their package back to your own site, like we said, is a win in and of itself. However, now that customers are there, how can we surprise and delight them throughout this experience? One common and effective use case is to segment your subscribers and your non-subscribers. We know that the number one thing we can do to keep customers coming back is get them into the subscription program. So for customers not already enrolled, why not use this opportunity while they are super excited about your brand to drive subscription signups? This is exactly what Soylent is doing in this example. And on top of that, for non-subscribers, they're surfacing product recommendations, which is another great tactic on the tracking page. Across the board, we actually see a 3% repeat purchase rate simply by suggesting products in the order tracking experience. Driving reward program signups is yet another great idea, but what if a customer is already in the subscription and/or rewards program? First and foremost, awesome job. You've created a loyal fan. But with that in mind, why not promote your Refer a Friend program to those super loyal customers? This easy use case turns your retention tactics into a lower cost acquisition channel. And remember, this is a time in the customer journey when they are super excited. Brands who are not capitalizing on the post-purchase journey are missing out on massive results. So Soylent, for example, who we've walked through a couple of their examples, has seen a 54x ROI on their order tracking program with the help of their agency partner, Electric Marketing. Ilia Beauty saw similar results and uses this opportunity to put their referral program front and center. By leveraging FriendBuy, who we also just heard from, on their order tracking page, they're creating a retention to acquisition flywheel. So wrapping all of this up real quick, there's no point in acquiring new customers if you don't have a plan to keep them. Order tracking is an often forgot about, but hugely important part of the customer journey. You can leverage it not only to retain customers, but keep them coming back for more. Last but not least, really appreciate everybody hanging in there with me. If you're interested in up-leveling your post-purchase experience and would like to meet one-on-one, email me directly. My email is listed there, noah@gomalomo.com. Mention this webinar, and if you end up implementing Malomo, we'll get you two free months off the platform fees. And now I believe I'm kicking it back to Michael, who's going to introduce Loop.
Yep. Thank you so much, Noah. That was awesome. A lot of good stats, a lot of cool case studies there. Kind of a big fan of Soylent as well. But yeah, we got about 20 minutes left of this webinar. So I'm going to go straight in and let Samir take it away for Loop.
Awesome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Samir Kamnani from Loop. I'm a product marketing manager. Thank you, Justuno, for having me. And Noah, great stuff. I'm glad you went before me. And this is going to be a nice transition into still why post-purchase matters and affects your attention, but more specifically, the returns management. So what I kind of want to start us off with is just think about how many times, or are there times where you, as a shopper, have delayed sending back your return or like delayed even making your return? or just not even doing it in general, for lack of a better term. I will take the L a lot of times on returns because I don't want to go through the process of actually doing it. It's typically not an easy process. But as you're thinking about those examples of times you've held on to your returns, it's usually when it's not an easy return policy and not a frictionless experience. So things like email or call a support number to start your return, or hey, we only offer refunds, or our return window is super small, like 7 days, things like that, that kind of stop you from wanting to even continue your journey with that brand. And so that really affects then how they're interacting with you after that. Let's say I have that experience with the brand as I'm returning, next time I want to go shop with them, I'm going to have that in the back of my mind of, oh, if I don't like this item, I'm going to have a bad time returning it. Maybe I should go look at some of their competitors and shop elsewhere that can support that. So that being said, customers are getting a lot more savvy about returns. They're thinking about it even before shopping with the brand, and they expect a frictionless return experience. Next slide. And it's not just to stop churn as well, to stop customers, from not coming to your brand. Even on the flip side, it's a positive thing. So 84% of shoppers are saying that a good return experience will encourage repeat purchases and make them want to come back to your brand more. The data that you're seeing here, and a lot of the data in this deck, are from consumer reports that Loop have run. We've done several surveys of 1,000 consumers at a time, getting their preferences on returns and how they view this stuff. So this is one of them. Next slide. So that being said, returns are an often overlooked part of the customer experience, and they can really be your secret sauce to retain your customers. And kind of like Noah was saying, especially with acquisition costs so high, there's no point in acquiring customers if you don't have a plan to retain them. So that being said, who is Loop and how do we impact you? If you couldn't tell by now, we are a returns management platform, and we are purpose-built for Shopify brands. So that makes it a really seamless experience from your Shopify admin to your Loop admin, and similar for your customers. It makes the returns feel like shopping again and feel like a joint experience. And so we really strive to increase customer loyalty with that great experience. We'll help lower your reverse logistics costs with some functionalities and automations there to generate shipping labels. And Loop, compared to other returns platforms, we pride ourselves on also being very focused on exchanges and revenue retention. So we strongly believe that a return and a refund are not the same thing and shouldn't be viewed as the same thing. It's because of that kind of psychology that a lot of brands see returns as a bad thing. But when you step out of that mindset and realize returns can actually be a sales channel and promote exchanges and keeping that money that they're trying to, get back in your business, it can become a really powerful tool. And over 1,800 Shopify brands like Allbirds and Figs and Princess Polly are using this today. So if you're shoppers of those brands, you've probably used Loop before in some capacity. So why is returns management important for your customers? The first aspect of this is it being self-service. And if you put yourself in the customer's shoes, if I want to return something on a Saturday night, I should be able to do it. I shouldn't need to have to call someone that's working limited hours or things like that, or try to get a hold of a real person. That just makes the process adds a lot more friction to the process. So again, being self-service and allowing shoppers to make a return when they want at their convenience is a big piece of it. The second would be options, and kind of what I was mentioning about not defaulting to refunds. By offering more options, you allow that money to potentially stay with your business. You can offer exchanges and incentivize those exchanges to make sure, again, the revenue is retained, or even offer things like store credit. And with exchanges as well, too, the most common reason returns are made are just for a wrong size or a wrong color. And so you can make very simple exchanges like that, or you can direct a shopper to shop for a completely different item. And again, make returns feel like shopping again. And the third piece is the logistics. After a shopper has made their return online, or submitted their return, I should say, they still have to go through the process of, actually dropping it off with a carrier. So Loop can support that, or you can even take it the next step and really impress your customers with printerless and boxless options. And the impact of all of that great customer experience, is that Shopify merchants are using Loop see repeat purchases 49 days faster compared to either a manual returns process or other leading return solutions, which is really amazing to see. And again, as well, it's not just about the retention of the customer coming back to you for a next purchase. It's also, can you save that initial sale that they're trying to return or refund in the first place, and to get them to do an exchange or a store credit. And so 50% of those returns end in retained revenue for the merchants. Right here, you're seeing a quote from one of our top customers at Aviator Nation. Our returns philosophy changed. Returns are no longer a cost center, but a profit center. We didn't realize how much revenue could be generated through returns. And this really goes back to what I was saying of, a return doesn't have to mean a refund. And when you step out of that mindset, again, returns can really become your secret sauce and a new sales channel for you. So with all that being said, I wanted to touch a little bit about what we're seeing the future of returns look like. And two hot topics are definitely sustainability and even more convenience. So what you're seeing on screen here are two stats as they relate to sustainability. Consumers are getting more savvy and more intentional about making sure the brands they shop at align with their own personal values as well. And so when it comes to sustainability, shoppers are reviewing return policies even prior to shopping with the brand in the first place. So this is even an acquisition play of their gauging your sustainability practices in your return policy before that. And then after the fact, 88% agree that eco-friendly return options make them even more likely to shop again. And the second piece I mentioned of convenience, we've already talked about how using a platform like Loop makes returns a lot more convenient for customers, but convenience is growing and expectations are growing. And so we're seeing more hunger for things like an at-home pickup where you don't even need to leave your home to make a return, or things like that. And sometimes offering more convenient services, or what we call premium returns, can be costly for merchants. But another stat that we've uncovered is that 70% of shoppers are actually willing to pay for those premium returns. So if you take it that next step and make it not even just a self-service experience, but a completely convenient experience for the shopper, at some point, they're willing to meet you halfway and pay a little bit for that. And so what I want to leave you with is a quote from our CEO saying that it's time to let go of the one-size-fits-all approach to returns and instead diversify your strategy to offer the convenience and sustainability consumers crave. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samir. That was great. Yeah, and a very awesome, natural lean in from the presentation. I'm a big fan of these return solutions, and huge shout out to Loop. Thank you again. And so we're about 10 minutes out. Let's dive right in to our second to last, Ryan from Ryder.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Ryan Powell at Ryder e-commerce by Whiplash. We're a leading provider for direct-to-consumer brands, managing fulfillment, logistics, including returns. We also do basically everything outside of manufacturing to support customers' needs, like embroidery and laundering and so forth. We manage 25 of our own distribution centers across North America and partner with some facility partners over in the UK, and we're expanding into Mexico and Canada this year. And so, we're the back end. All these cool platforms really engage with the customer, and it's really up to our teams to help our customers and our partners really thrive when it comes to the warehousing, the storage, the picking, the packing, the kitting, and all of the amazing things that happen in the four walls of a distribution center or warehouse. And so a typical approach in the market is we build a building and we put a bunch of accounts in a pre-built setup. And Ryder e-commerce, we take a different approach. We really look at the brand's needs. One brand is very specific to another brand. If you're selling large electric bikes, or if you're selling t-shirts and shoes, they're just going to be completely different operations. So we really define and map out what's needed for that customer base. We also want to make sure that we're meeting SLAs and metrics. And so we define that early in our onboarding process. We get a broad group of leaders together to be on weekly implementation calls to provide updates to the brand as well as throughout the organization. And then we make sure that we have the right systems in place. Those systems include our own homegrown order management, inventory management, warehouse management systems, as well as our partners in the ecosystem like Loop and Malomo and all the other great technologies that are out there. And then we go live. So it's not a traditional kind of fulfillment strategy, one building, bunch of customers. It is, you have your space. It is dedicated to operate and expand and contract for your needs. And so it's a bit of a differentiator in the market. Typically, we're anywhere from 15 to 90 days to go live. So getting to integrations and tech stack. So, you know, if you look at the marketplace, you really of logistics providers, you have your tech forward companies that have their own technology and they're merchant controlled, merchant facing. And then you have your companies that are really kind of focused on the operations and don't have that merchant interface technology. And we kind of play in this middle area where it's kind of a blue water situation where we have this amazing tech that is merchant facing, allowing the brands to control what happens in the warehouse. And then we have incredible operations and expertise to drive the logistics behind the scenes. And so with that technology, we obviously need to support consumers' needs to have great returns experiences, post-purchase experiences, and so forth. And so we also build out strategic integrations, allowing our customers to gain access to the amazing technology that's available on the market and connect it in. So our operators and all the folks that are actually doing the hard work to get the product to the end consumer has all the information needed to ensure that that end-to-end process is seamless and the consumer is getting the best experience throughout the entire life cycle. A big part of what we do is really looking at data, right? Brands are honing in on data. It's the number one most important thing. And so we have a comprehensive platform that can be modular, as well as a set data stream for all of our customers. It can be customers can be given their own data lake, or they can leverage our in-app dashboards. And so I think a big differentiator here is really helping the brands manage all of their inventory, where things are going, making sure that their POs are to their manufacturers so they don't run out of inventory, allowing them to run sales against inventory that's maybe aging, and so forth. So a big part of our strategy to support our customers is the data side of our business. And so quick success story, Rad Power Bikes, they're one of our customers. You know, they're massive growth. I think they raised a few $100 million over the past few years and have just been exploding. And so we've really had to help them scale. And so we've gone from single location to multiple warehouses. We've streamlined it nationwide. We're helping them build out dedicated kind of pop-up shops where they're going to be able to do repairs and upsells and things like that. And then from a continuation, we're continuing to help them expand throughout the North American market. So just an example of kind of an out-of-the-box fulfillment opportunity for a brand that's kind of non-traditional, if you will, electric bikes. So that's it. If you have any questions, you can reach out to partnerships@whiplash.com. I'm really excited to engage with everybody, and thanks for having us today.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ryan. Sweet. All right. A couple minutes left. So to make sure we don't run out of time, I'm going to go straight to Gavin from Velstar.
Hi, everyone. I'll keep this super short and sweet so that we can all kind of finish on time. But thanks for waiting to the end for us. So yeah, I'm Gavin Parkinson, Client Services Director at Velstar, based in the UK. We're a full service Shopify Plus and digital marketing agency. And today I'm going to take you through the fundamentals you'll need in place to successfully grow your brand online. So next slide, please, Mike. Cheers. So yeah, there's one constant, your digital presence. You definitely need to ensure it's right for both your customers and your team. And to do that, you need a solid hub, your website, courtesy of Shopify. And you'll also need the spokes, so the marketing and communication channels by which you'll reach your customers and make some money. Next slide, please. So yeah, your website is your digital, well, we've called it shopfront. That's what we call it in the UK, but your storefront, I think, is probably more appropriate for most of the audience. So Shopify offers absolutely the ideal platform on which to create your digital storefront. It includes everything you'd expect from an e-commerce website and plenty more extra features such as headless commerce, allowing you to make straightforward changes to your website without having to come to an agency like us every single day and order a great big dev project. Most significantly, Shopify also offers vast amounts of apps, allowing you guys to integrate the kinds of apps that can bring you personalization, unboxing, etc., to bring your site to life. Next slide. So yeah, you need to select the right mix of marketing channels and weigh them accordingly. But be really cautious. The first choice channels are now becoming increasingly expensive and competitive for many D2C brands. So more and more brands are exploring alternative channels such as affiliate marketing, as this offers much more lower cost ways of increasing incremental revenue. Digital channels aren't the only consideration, of course. Search intent, the stages of the buying journey, brand positioning, bricks and mortar retail and more should all be part of your marketing strategy. And that's, again, something we can help you with at every level of the funnel. And final slide, well, penultimate slide. Yeah, here's an example of a brand that we've been working with for a couple of years and looked at all of this. So it's French Connection. They wanted to offer far better customer experience to their customers, like everyone. They moved with us from an outdated platform to Shopify Plus. We created multiple stores for them, set up international infrastructure so that they could reach their customers out in the US, UK, Europe, and Australia. Afterwards, once the site was live, we supported them on the digital marketing side and developed really powerful strategies, which resulted in 40% increases in the site traffic, 74% decrease in bounce rate to the site, and 30% increase in peak season revenue. Okay, so, and then final slide. So yeah, if you want to learn more about Shopify Plus and indeed the work we're doing with our clients and how we might be able to help you, head over to our website, I think first, velstar.co.uk. And any questions off the back of the previous slides, give us a shout at hello@velstar.co.uk. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Gavin. Yeah, right on time. 1 minute to go. That's flawless. Huge shout out. Thank you, Gavin. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Noah. Thank you, Steph, Samir, and Ryan again. Everyone in the audience, thank you all for tuning in today. Really happy y'all came. Thanks for staying the whole time. Yeah, just thank you all so much. This is actually my last webinar here at Justuno before I leave this company and I'm headed off to another opportunity. But so if you've been to other Justuno webinars, thank you for coming over the past 2.5 years. Thank you to our awesome panelists. I'll let you say bye real quick and I'll close this out. Yeah, thank you, everyone. If you have any questions,
Thanks, Michael.
reach
Thanks,
out.
everyone.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Thanks,
Everyone.
everybody.
Bye.